So this is part 2 of everyday carry and 5 C's of survival. So I'll put a link below to the video on the 5 C's of survival. A quick recap: the 5 C's of survival are the 5 things that you will need and will be able to survive with. So the 5 C's, the first of all is the most important to me: keeping warm, combustion. So combustion tools and the ability to make your own char, and yeah, so there you go, there's your combustion. Then you've got a cutting edge, so there you've got a knife or some sort of cutting blade to go with you. And then you've got cordage, because who can't beat a good bit of cordage, whether it's paracord or twine you've made out of nettles. It's excellent stuff and will get you a shelter built really, really easily compared to just using sticks. And then we have cover. So again, I said in the last video, I always try to wear a nice comfy warm cloak, trying to bring them back into fashion. What do you reckon? But these space blankets take up absolutely minimal room in your pack, and for cover they are absolutely brilliant. Every prepper, every bushcrafter, every survivalist should have at least a couple of these in every backpack and coat pockets that they have. And then the 5th C is container. So again, that can be anything fancy like a nice canteen, or it could be simple like in my case, which is my cup. So covering your own drinking water. It's metal, so I'll cook on it on the fire. Yeah, I'll put a link to the video. Amazing bee, all those things fit into this tiny little molly bag. So in your bug out bag, the 5C bag is something that you should definitely want to be going for. But that doesn't cover everything for me, and for a lot of preppers that is a very, very, very basic, bare bones, everyday carry, survival carry. So what I would add as my everyday carry is to my kit. As a container, I would also take one of these, which has got, obviously it's metal, so I can heat it, use it as a hot water bottle or whatever, but it's got a lid on it, most importantly, so I can carry and store water. So yeah, that's one thing that I would add. Then essentially a first aid kit. And not just any first aid kit off the shelf. Have you seen those things? You buy a first aid kit off the store and it's just full of plasters, band-aids, whatever you want to call them, and a bit of micropore tape. It's not going to stand up for anything. So I would really suggest looking into getting some decent first aid supplies. Buy the supplies separately, get the bag, and yeah, stick the supplies that you've bought in. People should be looking at like situations like if they're going to need wound closures, so steri strips, something to consider, bandages, all sorts, and a lot of things that bushcrafters and preppers should be carrying aren't really normal run-of-the-mill what you're going to get from your local chemist sorts of supplies, which are to be fair aimed at people who are cutting their fingers slicing apples in civilization. So the next thing that I would be taking along would be some sharpening implements. So I've got a whetstone here. It's a really nice tiny little short one. I absolutely love it, to be honest. I've got a bigger whetstone, it weighs an absolute ton. It'd be a great tool for use in the zombie apocalypse, but carrying it around if I was going on a bug out or had to go on the run from any sort of SHTF disaster, then I would not want to be carrying weight. A lot of people could, I'm just not physically capable of carrying that much weight, so trying to keep my kit down is quite important to me. But saying that, also, well, I've mentioned before, I'm a little bit lazy, so I've got these 2 great Lanxey knife sharpeners. They're absolutely fantastic. So for just quickly running your knife through, that was the old style one. And then a friend got me this as a nice little Christmas gift, which is the quad sharp one. I mean, they're very good for basic knife sharpening, but you cannot beat a whetstone. But in my everyday carry, if I had to bug out, if I had to leave and have nothing but the stuff I have just shown you, then I would be quite happy that those were in my kit. I've used them on my axe as well, to be fair, and yeah, it's just to try it out. And yeah, keeping your knives, keeping your gear is very, very important. And yeah, the other thing that I would carry if I was bugging out and civilization based, I probably wouldn't be carrying this. But if I was bugging out, because I am so used to like living off grid now, chopping my own wood, I'd be lost without a decent axe. So I've got a tiny little hatchet that can quite happily fold up into my roll. I'll put a video into the my modern take on the bedroll of wonderful storageness that I did to show you guys how I'd be carrying this stuff around. It's all remarkably light, and the sheepskin and the blankets make it so comfy to carry. So yeah, that's my everyday carry. Get your 5 C's of survival bag sorted, get a first aid kit, and then yeah, you'll be sorted. Obviously things like solar chargers, water filters, they're things to consider and think about, but this is the bare basics, literally everyday carry. This is the sort of stuff that you can leave in a bag in the boot of your car by your front door, that you can take everywhere with you. And then if SHDF happens and you're away from home, or you need to get to people, then you've got that bag there. Having a go bag, having a bug out bag is good, but having some everyday carry that is going to sort you out in any situation, that really, really is the dream ticket.